This content. Great.
Welcome to Football Overseas, your favorite sports hub where passion meets sports. Whether it's club football, international tournaments, or global leagues, we bring every game, every story, every debate straight to you. During the international break, every continent comes alive on our channel. Eurovision, all things Europe, Nations League, Euros, FIFA WC qualifiers. Goal Plus Africa, Africa's Heartbeat, AFCON, CHAN, COSAFA Cup, FIFA WC qualifiers. Libertadores Vision, South America Uncovered, Copa Libertadores, Copa America, WC qualifiers. Silk Dynasty, Asia Spotlight, Asian Cup, WC qualifiers. Harambee Stars Unleashed, everything about Kenya's national team. When club football dominates, we go deeper. United Frontline, the ultimate Man United fan experience. Echoes of Anfield, Liverpool like you've never seen it. House of Galacticos, Real Madrid Uncovered. Premier League Game Month Show, stats, analysis, insights every 4 game weeks. Champions Crystal Ball, UEFA Tournaments, Club World Cup, Super Cup predictions. Final Whistle Debate Show, the hottest sports topics debated by experts, every 6 weeks. Deal Paranoia, transfer window coverage you can't miss. And for weekly predictions? We cover everything: Premier League, Championship, FA Cup, La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga, League One, DStv Premiership, T20 Cricket, F1, Women's Super League, international tournaments, and much more. Why subscribe? Because we don't just show games, we predict, analyze, debate, and break the stories that matter. From transfers to tactical battles, from managerial appointments to live watch-alongs, Football Overseas gives you the edge no other channel does. This is your hub for global sports, where every match counts, every opinion matters, and every fan belongs. Subscribe, join the debate, and fuel your passion. The game doesn't wait, and neither should you.
And you have heard that right. The game doesn't wait, and neither should you. And we are live for the last episode of Deal Corona. It has been an amazing transfer window show for summer 2026. Yeah, so this is the last dance. After the next 22 hours, there'll be no more almost done. There'll be no more 50-50. There'll be no more talks are progressing. And it's either it's happening in the next 61 hours or it doesn't happen this summer. Full stop. And we already had Barcola finally get over the line after 6 episodes of almost done. We had a hijack out of absolutely nowhere, and we had a striker chain, a striker chain reaction that's rewritten 3 different clubs attacking plans in 48 hours. In 48 hours, yes, you should grab a seat, and you should grab a seat. No, nobody's finished shopping yet, and by Monday night, some of these clubs will either be a heroes or absolute laughing stock. So we start with the first deal. That's the first deal being confirmed. Barcola to Liverpool for 145 million pound, 45 million euros. It is 105. So I'll put it as that. So I think 25 there, 145 with add-ons. Yeah, so Barcola to Liverpool is finally done, and it is a deal that is finding that it has taken 6 weeks, but always had the intelligence of personal terms sorted from the one. It was one of it was always a when and not a if it will happen. Yeah. And with Barcola, the player side was the player lands at a reigning champion, as a former reigning champion, as a joining Marquis attacking addition, but but as good as outcome as a move like this gets. Buying club willingness, the buying club was very willing. Uh, Buying club was very willing to get the player done and settled with. Yeah, Liverpool was selling Curtis Jones and was pushing Gakpo out of the door and still going to 104 to 5 million. That is the total fee if you include add-ons. Yeah, tells you that this was the priority, that was the priority number one target of the entire window. Liverpool on selling club was only willing to let go of of Barcola once Ferran Torres and Gotas were finally in the building as a cover-up. It was textbook as don't sell until the replacement lands business. Yes. Um, Agent Angle, the camp only, the camp that held out to the sixth episode of the Corona speculation without the deal collapsing has played a very patient and very controlled game because knowing agents they'll have been fuming. Yeah. And for my verdict for this deal of Barcola to Liverpool, it is a good deal. Liverpool has won the transfer window outright with this deal, one deal. The real cost, but is this a is this the domino it has created, or each brings us straight to the next deal that we're going to be talk about? That is Gakpo. Gakpo to Tottenham, 75 million for 75. That is almost done. It is 75% to be done. That is a deal that is meant to recover some of the fees that Liverpool has spent on Barcola. Feasibility, this deal is highly feasible. It has been almost done for weeks. City's early hijack interest has been appears to have cooled. Mm, appears to have cooled down, and each appears to clear the runway. Barcola, Barcola's arrival makes his path to his Gakpo's path to the first team nailed on minutes at Liverpool much harder because Gakpo before he was the starting man, but now with Barcola signing, at post diminished and Gakpo could be heading out of the door. Yeah, Spurs buying club. Spurs already have Savinio and Mamouche in from Man City. Adding Gakpo on top raises the real question of whether they're building a coherent attack or just a hoarding talent. Because I know Mamouche can play striker, Savinio can play right wing, and they can play left wing as well with Gakpo. So that will be a new front three. Yeah. Yeah, and also I think what else? in terms of selling club willingness, Liverpool has been clearly willing, given that they are already funded this incoming business, assuming that his fee already lands. They as they have used some of his fee, I think some or all, to fund the deal of Barcola coming in. It is good business for Liverpool, cashing in at the right moment for Spurs. The overlapping attacking profiles in one window, each other a title charge, master stroke, because that is good attacking transfer windows aspect, or it's either a dressing room rotation headache waiting to happen because Spurs in those wings they already have people like Mamouche, then we have Tels, so it's got to be a transfer headache. Yeah. And another thing about to happen that I'll talk about is Enzo Fernandez to Man City. That is reportedly at 65 million. Um, this deal is mostly a 50-50 deal. I know I've talked about this time and time over again. I've always given my verdict on this deal, and it has always been linked out about this deal. But there's no harm talk about it again since it's always been leaked. Enzo Fernandez is interested to go to City. He has agreed personal terms. The interest has revived and personal terms has been reportedly agreed, but the biggest single fee is still on the board and generally live. The only issue is agreement on fee. Yes. Yeah. And the buying club willingness, player side willingness is a direct broadly profile replacement at a club chasing Champions League title quotation. Is an it is an elite opportunity if the fit works as well because he's going for not playing in Europe for this season, to playing in Champions League for this season, and he'll be getting more Champions League security as well, football security as well. So it is a move up for him. For yeah, and City in going back in hard on a player after calling interest is a strong signal that they see him as a direct answer to the roadly exit and not a panic buy. Chelsea willingness to let a 40 million caliber midfielder go. This led suggests that there's a squad balance priority. There's a squad balance priorities over holding out for maximum value. The question I want to ask on the screen is: does the city manager actually want a like for like Rodri swap, or does the squad need something different in the profile after a season of injury issues in that exact position? Because they have had that with Rodri, suspensions, those things. So will they need a different kind of profile? Yeah, so the verdict it's a huge deal, huge risk. If it lands, City have replaced the midfield anchor with adjoining star power. If it collapses on deadline day and night with no fallback, City can go into the season short in that exact position of signing of experience because they have a younger one. Yeah. So another thing is another deal is a hijack that I was talking about earlier. That is the Hector for the Hector Fort hijack. He was linked to a move to Dortmund, but seems like he's going to stay in Spain, but not to stay in Spain to go to stay in for to fight for a role in Barcelona. No, that is not going to happen. Hector Fort has decided to leave Barcelona and he's going to go to Sociedad. Yeah, so it's a hijack deal. It hijacked the so feasibility aspect was dead in the water. Talks with Dortmund was dead in the water. It broke down at 85% done. Resources that had zero prior links and still moved fast enough and agreed to a fee structure personal terms before anyone else could react and before also Dortmund could counter as well. It is generally one of the boldest pieces of business in this entire window. And Barcelona was very willing and clearly not precise about it. Once Dortmund fell through, they moved on with the first credible offer. Yeah. So my verdict on this deal is it's actually the best hijack deal of the summer. It's also that recruitment team. I give them credit, real credit on this. This is actually what moving decisively, this decisively looks like on deadline day on deadline eve, and to advise to mid-table clubs watching, this is how you win a transfer window without the biggest budget because this deal was just 20 million and the Sociedad just took advantage of that. And it's a right back. Yeah. Now another deal is Pedro Neto to Man City. This is a deal where the interest has been revived. I know you're thinking, why is Pedro Neto linked again to City? Because of number one, he's done deal with Al almost done deal with Hilal fell too. Yeah. It's revived so this revived only after Neto's move to Al Hilal collapsed when Chelsea doubled the asking fee mid negotiation and it was a messy build up. It is genuinely live right now. Genuinely live right now. Yeah. And City has re-entered talks after Villa Al Hilal links cooled showed showed interest showed cooled showed source and continued intends to reshape the wide areas alongside the Sevenio and Mamouche exit because they need a replacement for those. Chelsea is very willing to sell Neto, but at a right price. Chelsea doubled the asking fee on Al Hilal, and still finding a buyer at a big number is either brilliant, is either excellent negotiating skills or a red flag about how they value their own squad. Because even the Delap who hasn't been performing well, they sold him for 50 million. So it's either those two. So if City manage to, if City lands this on top of Enzo, this is one of the loudest single window rebuild in recent memory. It's risky, The risk is spreading the self thin on the fees this late, and if and the question not ask if City can actually close both deals in the next 61 hours. Can City close both deals in the next 61 hours because and then they need to sign Enzo Fernandez for experience replacement for Rodley because they cannot depend on the current replacement called on Baode because he's young, upcoming, yeah, and you need experience. Next one is Martinelli. Hmm, Martinelli to Adihal. Yeah, so Martinelli to Al It has certain it has certain to it is close to certain as a deal as a deal as a deal gets without an official announcement. The player many once had down as a joining Arsenal starter, now closing out on a move to Saudi Arabia after being linked away by Turkey and Italy first. It was being honest about what that what that transfer story says. Selling club Arsenal clearly ready to cash in and move on. They want younger with wingers in. They've already sold closer to Turkey and they're willing to sell more as well. So Martinelli is the last bunch and they want to sell these younger ones, left wingers, so that they can get bigger ones in. Yeah. Another one is, yeah. So in terms of verdict, business decision wise, decision that makes sense for Arsenal books. For the player, this is the moment his career story shifts from future Arsenal mainstay to cast out in his prime. That's worth saying plainly and not dressing up. Yeah. So the another deal we'll talk about is Enzo Martinez to wait, not Enzo Martinez. Another deal we'll talk about is a goalkeeper Chelsea has gotten. That is Emilio Martinez to Chelsea. That's a done deal at 15 million. Yeah, it is done. And the backstory explains why his camp has been going door to door across the Premier League for over a year, trying to force a big club return after losing his spot to Raya at Arsenal. So we all remember how he lost his spot to no, and he has been trying to go back to a big club return. So he signed for Aston Villa. We all remember that. And for the player side, it was a journey career rebuilding story. He used Villa as a platform, restored his reputation, and finally gets his big club move after Serie A rejected the fee and Spurs move fell through. Selling club willingness. Villa was very willing to sell. Yeah, Villa bringing in see the Japanese goalkeeper Shu Suzuki replacement shows that we are prepared either way to sell him or keep him, and we willing for the second for our second season, and they chose to let him the move happen. Agent angle is this is a standout agent story of the window, and I give the agent credit for this move. To be honest, it is over a year of relentless work to engineer exactly this outcome after last season's failed United move. Yeah, for the player, it is a great outcome for the player, sensible business for Villa either way, given Suzuki was already lined up and it one of the more satisfying redemption arcs of the summer. Yeah. So from one reject to another reject, yeah, we are going from Martinez to Leo. Rafael Leo to Galatasaray, 45 million. That is a done deal. Yeah, yeah, that's a done deal. And yeah, so it is done. And but the backstory matters. A breakdown with Milan that predates the current manager, with interested clubs the keeping the distance over injury history and temperament concerns. Also, the player on the player side is talented enough to headline most attacks in Europe, and ultimately, yet the market priced him based on risk and not just ability. It's a little lesson in terms of reputation management for the player side. Milan was clearly ready to move on, but at the right number after after a relationship that already broken down. It a fair value cleared for for both sides given the circumstances. Advice to the player: talent alone does not dictate your market, but how you are perceived off the pitch is now directly setting your price tag. Yeah, I think I've covered that part. Segment 2, Baleba to United 20 million. The winner is United. It's a direct, decisive business in position, the position that embarrassed them at Hull. Konsa to Arsenal's for 55 euros. That is solid, proven Premier League defensive experience. Yeah. And Watkins to Hilal. Finally done. Villa cashing in after two episodes of almost done. Suzuki and Jackson are coming in as the succession plan to replace Watkins and to also replace Martinez as well. Yeah. Another one is Diaby homecoming to Leverkusen, 30 million euros. Homecoming story finally sealed after the episodes of Will They, Will They, Won't They? Yeah. Allan to Man City, its press links turned quick business, depth signing, and low profile and low risk, similar to how City signed Savinio. So could this be another Savinio 2.0? That's another worry for City. It could be another Savinio 2.0 signing. Hadjam, okay, the off to Brentford for 47 million euros. It's a big fee for a squad shuffle. It's worth watching whether he starts going forward. Yeah. Hadjam to Brighton, sharp value business, possibly signals a bigger name being moved on. Palacios to Ipswich, a promoted side backing itself once again. Third notable fee on of the window. Fabinho to club clubs on Spa. It's a feel good reunion. We move with Salah. Zero consistency, though. Zero convergence. No. Zero controversial. See, though. Not consistency. Leon Goretzka, Leo Goretzka to Villa. For Villa, it's a joining value on a free for a club building a serious squad depth as well. Adama Torre to Adama Torre to Real Volcano, upcoming, low risk, easy business. Yeah. And then these are deals that are still hanging by a thread. Seattle go, Jimenez to Porto. It alone option with the it alone plus option. It's 65% done. 65 possible of happening. Milan is Milan isn't a misfiring striker out of the door. Question whether the option to buy structure ever gets triggered by Porto or it has going to be a long deal. Yeah, that's a risk. Now Zaxi to Juventus or Fiorentina. Zaxi, the structure disagreement is a real story. Juventus has school interest in favor of Salute. Each could leave this collapsing at the final hour. For Fiorentina's update, it is up to United to decide whether they want to greenlight that. Because, yeah, Baleba to Man United, no, Baldi to Man United, 65 million euros. That's 60%. United still hunting one more defensive body after Hull. They're joining 50-50. United is looking for loan with option to buy, but Barcelona prefers uh, a permanent sell instead of a loan with option to buy. Yeah. Also, they don't want an option to buy; they want a mandatory option to buy. So I think it will be a matter of structure as well, and also a matter of agreeing on the fees as well. Near to Liverpool, 70 million euros, 65. It's a late entry, each price them out of one option, cooling on another over combined fee math. It's a deal built entirely on financial jigsaw puzzles. Sal to Liverpool. Now this is an option C on the right wing. It's a hijack attempt on character on itself. It is a fallback after two other targets became unaffordable. It's worth asking the chat whether I'm asking the chat whether how many attackers does Liverpool actually need? Yeah, Jonathan David to Atletico Madrid. It's a soap style domino tied to Solo heading the other way because Juventus is interested in Solo. So could they sell to each other and at a cheaper price? Yeah, as a discount. And then I don't know why this player keeps on getting linked to Chelsea, but throughout the summer he has been getting linked to Chelsea. He has been lined up by the media as a direct Pedro Neto's replacement. Chelsea is clearly planning for his exit before it's even confirmed. Gabriel Jesus to Napoli. 20 million euros, 50%. Arsenal reportedly running a fast come, fast served auction, a sign that they just want this player off the books. Yeah, Neymar Jr. to Inter Milan, Inter Miami, sorry, not Inter Milan. It's still hanging, still symbolic, and more than a sporting at this stage of his career. Yeah, I think it's another reunion with Messi as well. Okay, KSC to Juventus is on a free, with a low risk squad depth option if it lands. Roma, Roma is interested in signing Malik Fofana for 40 million euros. 65% that is possibility of happening. Yeah, they are wearing joining financial worry against the cost of missing out. Ariel, can they actually afford this storyline? Yeah, I think that is the thing that is delaying it. Yeah, us those two Crystal Palace. This is a done deal. Palace was hijacking a deal Villa thought they had sworn up. Yeah. So I think that brings it to the end. 61 hours left. That is all that's left. Some of this deal gets done, some of them die on van, and by Monday, will night will know who's actually panicked and who played it perfectly. And you can drop your predictions below in the comment section. Tell me each deal you think will collapse at the last second. Subscribe to the channel because we are live for a full. We're going to be live for a full deadline day breakdown. I think it's going to be Monday. Yeah. No, I don't think we'll be live for that. But subscribe because we'll continue with our live league predictions content that we produce as well, and help us reach 1k subs because no one 2500 subs because we are on our mission to that. Right now we are on 1035 34 subs. So apart from that, I'll see you guys next time.